Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Bible. My name is Rogan, and you are watching The Mysterious Stoner in a Bowler. If you were expecting the review, I'm sorry. I had one of my other videos taken down, my review videos taken down by YouTube. It's possible that I have my monetization setting on my channel turned on, and I need to go back and turn it off. So, or I need to make it clear, which I will do now, that this channel is officially no longer for making money. My primary secondary income that I'm focusing on is officially comedy. And so I'm not trying to make money off of this channel and what I do on here anymore. Hopefully that allows me to continue reviewing whatever at my leisure. Probably not. YouTube and people in general are weird about letting you play their stuff even though you're not making any direct money off of it. There's copyright, right? I'm looking forward to being wealthy enough to screw that rule in the ass and make a lot of free art that, well, yes, when I have time and resources. But one thing at a time. Comedy for money, this for fun, because I enjoy this sort of thing. Today, I have quite the story for you. You know that story, sorry, not story, but that little fact about the Israelites being stuck wandering around in the wilderness for 40 years? Well, today we come to that story. And it makes God, again, Yahweh, look a bit questionable. I'm stoned. And I just deleted like 10 other videos from trying to do this earlier, so we are on officially take 2 of this entire episode. The Israelites have arrived at the borders of Canaan, and they are commanded by God to do the one intelligent thing God has to say for this entire story. Send out some spies. One from each tribe of Israel. They send out 12 spies to spy out the land for 40 days. Numbers chapter 13, by the way. And down in verse 27, we come to where they are telling Moses and the people when they return. They told him, "We came to the land where you sent us, and it is flowing with milk and honey. And we saw the cities and the people that were living there, and they are huge. Their fortifications are very strong. And the people themselves are literally huge. They even have a famous name for some of these people, the sons of Anak, and it goes on to later describe them as men of great stature, great physical height. They tell the people that we saw giants, the sons of Anak. They describe themselves as being grasshoppers in the sight of these people. Probably an over-exaggeration, but more than likely these were some very tall people. Probably 8 to 9, maybe even 12 footers. And I can state that because there have been actual discoveries found of these giants, a race of giants that used to exist on Earth. And I'll If I can find some videos, I will share them down in the link below. But they used to really try and hide the fact. A lot of officials and governments are trying to continue to hide the fact that there used to be giants, because they don't want to reveal that there is some truth to be found in some of these ancient books. Because if people found the truth out, that would lead them to finding out other truths, that would lead to those people in charge who have been hiding the evidence of these truths, that would lead to those people responsible for hiding that stuff losing their power, and the common people finding more of the personal potential power that we each possess. Sorry, that was a bit of a rabbit trail I went on there. Let's bring it back to the present moment in this story. It literally describes the 10 of these spies, 10 of the 12, describing their report to the people of Israel as being an evil report. I think really it's just discouraging, because they were terrified of these giants. They didn't know how to fight giants. Could you blame them? What about these other two? Well, the other two, by the name of Joshua and Caleb, famous Bible people, like small-time celebrities in the Bible, you could say. They were very encouraging for the Israelites to go in and take the Israelites. They were like, yeah, God's with us. We can do this. If we strategize right, we can kick their asses. They were in there for 40 days, so it's possible that Caleb and Joshua hung out and saw some things that the other 10 didn't. It's possible. And they may have seen some strategies and some regular habits of the people that they spied out, and were like, you know what, we could actually, these people are bigger than us, but we could actually do this if we strategized right. And so they were trying to encourage the people to go along and attack, but the majority won. And it is entirely possible that Joshua and Caleb were completely off their rocker, and that the 10 at the time were right, or who knows. But point being, the majority swayed the crowds, and all the children of Israel, well, the vast majority, freaked out, and they complained to Moses. They acted like they forgot all of the miracles that God did for them. And then again, a lot of the time, he ended up killing people half the time. He killed someone every time there was complaining. And I bet you can't guess how this story is going to end. Oh yes, God is already in the mood to kill someone. He tells Moses, oh, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of people complaining and not trusting me and everything. Moses, he says in verse 12 of chapter 14, he says, Moses, I will smite them with the pestilence. Meaning, I'm going to make them slowly suffer and die, all of them, the women and the children, in addition to the men. And will make of you, Moses, a greater nation, mightier than them. So God's just going to coldly, harshly, cruelly kill every single Israelite soul. He is going to perform genocide, because these people are terrified of giants. They've never seen giants before, but there are giants in these lands, and they're scared. They have a right to be scared. And God has lost his patience. It's very funny, because Moses immediately starts pleading with God. Oh no, God, please, 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 please. Please don't kill them. Please, 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 please. Let me give you a few reasons. Okay? Now, first off, what are the other nations going to say about you? You kill everyone, but they are going to say that even though you killed all of them, you weren't able to bring them into the land of Israel, in the land of that you promised for them, into the land of Canaan. Pause right there. This is literally what he is saying. He is saying that that other nations will mock Yahweh for killing an entire nation of people instead of bringing them into the land he promised to give them. How does Moses know that's how the other nations are going to take it? What if the other nations see this God perform genocide and have heard about how much the Israelites have complained and how people have died literally every single time they have complained to God? Why wouldn't they conclude, oh, God just got tired of their shit and killed them. We're going to respect Yahweh now. And you know what? Maybe we should just all convert to him. Because honestly, that would make more sense. Why wouldn't they do that instead of saying, oh, he couldn't bring them in, he killed them all instead, he's pathetic? Why would you say that? You would be like, that's like inviting him to come over, like, oh, you think I'm pathetic? How am I pathetic now? I'm Yahweh, motherfucker. I will fucking off you if you don't respect me and bow down to me and follow my rules and my 10 commandments. I am the God that built everything. I am the God who brought people out of Egypt. Oh, you gotta do what I say. If you don't, I can't stand sin in my heaven. I need blood. I need so much blood. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much blood I need to be happy so that souls can come into heaven. That's the God we're talking about here. That's the Yahweh. I mean, can you see why there's some agitation between the children of Israel and God here? And God wants to already off him. So this is Moses' reasoning, okay? What's Moses' next reason? This is good. This is really good. You're going to love this reason. He says, and now I beseech thee, let the power of my Lord be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying. He's now quoting God here. He's saying that he's quoting God. So apparently God has said, the Lord is long-suffering. It means he's very patient. It means he has a long fuse. He doesn't blow up quickly. He doesn't want to kill people quickly. That's what long-suffering means. The Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting... He was doing great there for a second. I didn't underline this. But then he goes on to say, and visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children of the third and fourth generation. I don't know why that is such a big deal for God, to punish the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of the people who pissed him off. But that's part of him being patient and merciful and forgiving. Because demanding blood is forgiving? Anyways, verse 19. Pardon, I beseech thee, the iniquity of this people, according to the greatness of thy mercy. and as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt even until now. I'm not good at math, but man, if only I had an estimate of how many people has died between Egypt and now by the hand of God that were Israelites. Oh, it's because they complained. Do you fire your employees every time they complain? Do you kill your own children every time they complain? Do you beat them every time I hope you don't. I hope you're merciful. I hope you try and explain things to them. I hope you try and help them understand. Because employees need to understand sometimes why bosses do things the way they do. It helps them ease their mind and not worry that the place is falling apart. Children are smarter than you give them credit for. Human beings are smarter than Yahweh gives them credit for. He doesn't try to explain stuff. He isn't really patient with them. He doesn't truly forgive. It seems like there are multiple definitions of the word forgiveness in the world, and it's really unfortunate. Because it seems like, according to Yahweh, forgiveness does not happen. Yeah. Actually, yes. A Bible verse says, without the shedding of blood, there is no remission of sin, so there's no forgiveness. God has to have the shedding of blood. He is a blood mongerer. There's no nicer way to say it. Oh, no, it's just what God requires. No. This God is designed to be a blood mongerer. Why would you think that a good person would demand blood if you offend them? I don't care if they're a man or a woman. If you offend them and they demand blood from you before they forgive you, they're not a nice person. Why is God still nice for demanding it? Why is God still worshipped for demanding blood and for threatening people with hell? Why is he taken seriously? Because a book says he could do magic stuff and now he doesn't do it as much anymore? That's convenient. That's very convenient. Maybe things just weren't quite the way it says. Maybe it's historically based, but I don't think it's historically accurate. Otherwise, Yahweh strike me dead. Moving on then, Moses states his case and finally convinces Yahweh. And he says, verse 20, I have pardoned according to thy word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. That's what he says. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness have tempted me now these 10 times and have not hearkened to my voice. Now, I've counted the 10 times up. I'm not quite sure what he's referring to in these times, but apparently that he's been annoyed by these particular people. But the thing is, I'm not sure if it's just these 10 spies or in addition. But it seems it's these 10 spies that have been really pushing to not go in. I guess that's what it seems to be, that they're just pushing against it. God thinks they've seen it all or something, and these dudes are still like, no, not even our God can handle this. Not even Moses' tricks can handle this, if that's what was really going on. But God says, all right, I have pardoned according to thy word, but these 10 guys will not get into Israel. And you know what? I say that would be kind of fair, since if they doubted him and you wanted to teach that lesson, and that was it, if that's where you stopped right there, and you pardoned the rest of the children of Israel, and you just killed those 10, that would be something of a punishment. I wouldn't kill them. I would have just maybe, made them sick. I don't know why he has to kill people all the time. I don't see why you can't just make them sick and let them get better. Let them learn their lesson. No, just you die. Whatever. God knows what he's doing. Boom. That's how it happens. Oh, but God's not done. God is not done. He's not going to stop at these 10 guys. Oh no. Oh yeah, Caleb and Joshua, they'll definitely live to make it in and get some land. But then he goes on to say, tomorrow, I want you to say to all the people of Israel tomorrow, verse 29, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me, doubtless you will not come into the land concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, except for Caleb and Joshua. But as for all of you, oh yeah, your kids will be fine. They'll have to wander around in the wilderness and stuff, and they'll have to wait till they're about your age right now before they get in. But they'll get in. But as for all of you, this current generation of Israel, this entire generation from 20 years old and upwards, your carcasses are going to fall in this wilderness. Your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years and bear your whoredoms until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness, after the number of days in which you searched the land. Each day for a year shall ye bear your iniquities, even in 40 years. He likes to repeat stuff a lot. I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto thee, all this evil generation that are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and they shall die. I just want to read that verse one more time. The Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression. Amen. So do they just wander off into the wilderness then? Nah, one or two more things happen real quick. Those men that did bring up the evil report unto the land, well, they got off easy. They didn't have to die off in the wilderness. The Lord was forgiving and merciful and killed them all with the plague. Whatever terrible plague that might have been. And then, after that happened, the people were like, or at least some of the people, I don't know how many, but a group of the Israelites decided, you know what? Screw it. We be here. We're here. We'll go to the land. We'll try out these strategies that Caleb and Joshua said. We admit it. We screwed up. We sinned. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go fight. We're ready. Was God like, okay, gung-ho, let's do this? Moses said, wherefore now do ye transgress the commandment of the Lord? It ain't going to work out. He said, don't go, because God's not going to go with you now. And you're going to lose real badly if you do. And they said, screw you, we're going to go anyways. And they went and they got their asses kicked. And then they went off into the wilderness. And that is how the children of Israel supposedly ended up wandering around in the wilderness for 40 years. I say supposedly because I think things could have always gone a little bit differently than how they actually did. I don't really see any evidence of God in here other than these 10 guys dying by a plague, and that's not real evidence. They could have easily been poisoned. And this whole back and forth argument about attacking Canaan could have been a whole matter of true, genuine fear against these giants, but they could have had a legit strategy. And maybe what they decided was that they would split up, and whoever wanted to try it, if they won, then God was with them, and if they didn't win, then God was with the people who didn't go. Details don't have to be exactly how Moses wrote them. And we already know that Moses wrote them, apparently. How do we know that he told the entire truth? How do we know he didn't twist things a little bit? He didn't change the narrative of history just a little bit more in his favor? Like, who makes sure to go out of their way to talk about their own humility? That straight up happened in the last episode. And Moses supposedly wrote these. Why would God say, hey, make sure to write about yourself. Make sure to say how freaking humble and awesome you are. And how much you're able to convince me and twist my arm. How many times you save the Israelites from me. How much they should love you and respect you. And Moses is like, I like this. Yeah, keep going. What else should I tell them about me? How do you know that he was truly humble? How do you know that he was truly honest in his writings here? You don't, do you? No, you don't. You don't know any more than I do. And you don't know any more than the Bible scholar does, because the Bible scholar doesn't know. He doesn't know what Moses was thinking when he wrote these things down. All he can tell you is the translation. And I can help you figure out how logical this stuff is. Does God seem like a logical, fair guy to you? Does he seem like a truly long-suffering God of great mercy and forgiving? Do you think you should have blood every time you're offended? If you do, you need some psychological help. You have anger issues. If you want to fight every time you're mad. If you want to kill someone every time they complain, like God does. This God. If there's a true providence, he ain't this. But that's just my opinion of reality. As is what this is. An opinion of reality. Some of it's good, some of it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think may have actually happened. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Have fun, enjoy your weekend. Or week, I guess, by the time this gets on. Adios, stay safe, and until next time, my friends, farewell.